Ye. Sawa. Thank you for joining. Shiku.
Share the geki.
Igana.
Igana nako.
Uteste.
Nani niliambiwa alihama?
Jo, Lasta. Mwingine anaitwa Lasta.
Kwa sababu nauliza nini? Hadi ana duka yake leo.
Tengeneza simu. Hapo. Niko huko. Mimi niko.
Nimekuja tu nikibahatisha.
Mimi nao sijahama bado. Sawa. Labda ukadhania ni hapa.
Baba sasa ndio nilikuwa naulizia.
Ni ndio maeria.
Sawa.
Thank you. Okay. Poa sana.
Sasa si Joana Joe utakushinda. Hebu kiasi nikuulize nini? OTG.
OTG iko.
Ya type C.
Yes.
Ngapi?
100.
Yes, msije.
Okay.
Unasikia? Ni bila hataki nini complain. Accepted, very accepted. Serious. sasa unajua kwanza itabidi uniweke credo. Unajua credo ni kwa nimenunua ni ya minutes 45. Tukipata. Basi unajua sasa hizi niisha na hii ni credo. Credo ya kukopa ndio inajiambia hapa. Haina mambo. Accepted, very accepted. Sawa basi, yani 20 what? That's 20 lakini 20 something. Write down. Weta bonga. Wazi. Natuma kwa nini?
Kwa hiyo buy goods.
Bado unakopa hizi lights?
Hizo cynic lights.
Inakuwa ngapi?
Nakuaga so 8.
So 8.
Yes.
Hakuna kala moja hivi.
Kara moja zinakatagwa per meter.
Per meter.
So labda saa unitume uniambie unataka which color?
Red. Lakini bei ni moja.
Per meter ka tuseme 1 meter. Nakuaga 150.
150.
Yes, and then sasa kuna hiyo connector yake. Hiyo ni so big.
So hiyo ni bilioni.
Lakini sasa si unajua mita venye inatoshana kitu kama hii.
Mita ni kadogo.
So ina depend na how many meters that you want.
Nakuona basi.
Haina noma.
Charles.
Yes, Charles. Thank you, nimeshaipata. Okay.
Naikuuliza kwani hizi vitu
ukaaje?
Zika how many times?
Juu
Ile ingine ile ya normal. Hadi sijui nipangaga nini like kacha tu.
I think nikaa hivyo zimetengenezwa.
Lakini liko imekaa lakini ikakuja kuaje. Sawa basi asante.
Okay, karibu sana. Thank you for joining. Let's like, share as well as subscribe in this platform, guys. Thank you guys for joining. Guys, today we have a very simple topic. Is there need by our government agency to license us with guns? Is there need for them to license us with guns? Thank you for joining. Is there need for by the government agencies to license us with guns? Is there need for us to be licensed with guns? Let me know your thoughts. You can also, today it is a yes no answer. That's what is in our quiz. Thank you guys for joining. Yeah, happy Thursday. How are you doing, guys? Hope everyone is fine. Hope everyone is fine. If you are here, you can just say hi, and I am going to appreciate. Guys. So here is the arguments for licensing guns. One, it is all about to enhance personal security. You regulate illicit arms trade or gun trade. Deterrent effect. Yeah, those are some of the reasons that I've highlighted. Argument. Of course, if everyone will have a gun, it is going to increase the highest level of violence, or crime, and then it's going to empower oppressive regimes. Then it's going to act as a root cause. Violence. And then it's going to deter the operation of law enforcement. Yes, poa sana. Ulipotea kwanza na Mariago.
Mariago itapatikana, mtu wa Mungu.
Imepotea miezi mingi sana.
Ipatikane kwa fundo this time around. Ngoja uone.
Sawa sawa. There we go. Is it a good thing to license, normal citizens? Yeah, we call them normal citizens with private guns. Let me know. With guns or with private guns. Let me know if you really agree that there is a need for us to, for the government agencies to license private citizens with normal citizens with guns. When African nations should be licensed, license normal citizens with guns. This is a complex debate because it's all about balancing the national security issue, the public safety, individual rights, with argument that licensing focuses on reducing crime and it increases personal safety.
Alafu Izera. Ukwenda naenda. Nilikuwa nimesema twende hivyo. Kama kesho. Sawa sawa.
Ngapi ndio? Iko sawa. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you everyone for joining. My house shall be called a house of prayer. Do, 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 do. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Good Thursday. Good Thursday. Is it a good thing to license guns to personal? Is it a good thing to license personal guns to normal citizens? That's the question we are having today. You know, it's all about our government agencies or maybe our government to come up with policies on ensuring that we can be able to access guns. Yeah, that we can be able to access guns. Yeah, that's our question today. Licensing of guns. Gun licensing is all about and one of the key arguments for not licensing guns, the first one is all about licensing guns, and we are told that if we do what we call gun licensing, then the guns will be able to act, and to protect individuals. If I have my gun today, I don't think I'll feel any threat about anything. That's the fact. Like maybe when I don't have it, because someone with a gun, because I'll always be very, very, precise. I'll always be very, very hesitant, maybe to have a tug of war or even to argue with someone with a gun. But on the other hand, if I have one, then it will be easier for me to protect myself, and to enhance on my personal security. And then we are told another advantage of licensing these guns is all about the issue of regulating what we call the gun trade. You know, for each and every economy, gun trade is always there. Mm. So it's all about personal security and also to regulate the gun trade. In any economy, gun trade is always there. You know. Reduced to 14 kb. Change. Ehe, sawa. Si dogo kigura utume si 1 point something ugure utume. Yeah, that is it, guys. So if we license guns, when we license guns, then we are also going to regulate what we call the gun trade, because at the end of the day, there is a lot of what we call the illicit buying of legal firearms. And the moment each and every person has have a gun, then we are going to eliminate or we are going to reduce the number of illegal guns in circulation by differentiating them from those that are acquired in a legitimate way. And then we are also going to do what we call the deterrent effect, because the presence of legally acquired guns or legal arms, they are always going to reduce what we call the criminal activity. For instance, I cannot allow someone to disturb my peace, especially when I have a gun. It will be impossible for someone just to come and do what we call maybe destabilize my peace, and at the end of the day I have a gun. To me it is not going to work. That's the thing. So on the other hand, having too many guns in the economy, one, it's going to cause what we call a tug of war between the government and maybe probably those that are in the opposition. And I have seen this thing in our African context, whereby, if you are maybe in the opposition, then the government of the day is always going to ensure that it uses all the means and the strategies. It's going to use all the means and strategies to ensure that these guns are withdrawn from the system. And therefore, it's a very good tactical way of ensuring that the opposition do not have the legal arms, and in the process, that's now where the government is able to control even the opposition, unlike when even the opposition maybe probably can acquire what we are calling the guns. And therefore, in terms of the advantages, I think it's very, very advantageous to have a gun, because at the end of the day, we are going to reduce the crimes, and then we are also going to deter what we call the illegal trade of guns. And then at the end of the day, we'll also be able to reduce what we call that type of deterrence, of crime and anything related with it. However, on the other hand, having guns is not the right thing, especially for a nation that is probably growing, or for a nation that that has a lot of anger, because at the end of the day, when you are so angered and you have the firearm, then you can even go to where the president or maybe your member of representative lives. And then now, since you can be able to hold that gun, it will become easier for you even to do you can do a lot, like kill, you can, all those things, because now you have the gun. So it empowers even the oppressed. That's now the danger of having a gun, because I see a scenario whereby each and every person is having a gun, and the scenario is not so good, because at the end of the day, if maybe I have some enmity with a certain friend of mine, and then I'm so angered, or even when I have some differences with my wife, she can take the gun at night and she can shoot me while I'm asleep. That's the thing. The same thing when you have a gun, and then maybe you are having your differences with your business partners. At the end of the day, they can use it for the advantage. Maybe you have done a very, very good deal, and maybe your partners do not really want you to get some good benefit out of that deal. So as a way of eliminating you, they are just going to use that gun, and then at the end of the day, you will no longer be there. And then it acts as a cause of violence, the root cause of violence, because at the end of the day, I see a scenario like in our nation today, we are having a lot of, I can call it like a tug of war between the opposition and the government. So I see a scenario whereby maybe you're in the opposition and you meet with the government official. At the end of the day, with such a gun, I don't think things will be better, And then I see a scenario whereby maybe supporters from this side and supporters from this side, they meet somewhere and all of them have guns. At the end of the day, they will be shooting aimlessly at each other in the name of trying to support their best leaders or something of sort. The same thing is going also to percolate even in the organization level. I see a situation whereby maybe you have been raised to a certain standard because maybe of your qualification, because of your job, and probably you have been promoted at a very faster rate than someone else. And at the end of the day, all of us, we are human, and at the end of the day, something like jealous may creep in, and in the process of jealous creeping in, they might do all sort of things to ensure that you are eliminated. And the reason why now, from my view, that I would never like guns, to be introduced in my community or in my society or in my country, is the rate of, unemployment. That is a worrying trend, because if I foresee a situation whereby maybe each and every person has a gun. Maybe they don't have anything to eat or something of such. Those guys will always try to destabilize the economy, you know. For instance, now we don't even have a lot of guns within our system, by most of the citizens, unlike those maybe they are in government and maybe those that have been elected by people. But in a context whereby each and every person is having a gun, wow, I'm telling you, the tug of war that will be there between the readers maybe and the citizens, yeah, it will be always be bloody. And having guns to me is such a very big drawback, because at the end of the day, like now, we even don't have guns. Yeah, we even don't have guns. But one thing that keep on shocking me, people keep on killing each other, you know, and they are killing each other because of petty issues. Yeah. Now, what if we have guns in our system? It's going to propel and to put a lot of violence between, between friends, between friends and enemies, between citizens and government, you know, and that one will always be such a very, very tricky thing, very tricky thing to control. So to me, guns, oh, I would never love to have guns. And then it's going to deter the operation of the law enforcement. I oversee a situation whereby maybe I have a gun, the police have a gun, the army have a gun. Who is going to control who? That's now the issue. Because at the end of the day, if you really want a country to work, yeah, the civilians should never have guns. That's the thing. The civilians should never have guns. Because at the end of the day, if the civilians have guns, they are always going to form what we call the militia. And that is the same thing that is happening in most of these nations, whereby maybe we are having a lot of, maybe we are having a lot of conflict, conflict between government and maybe conflict between government and the citizens. You fight because in that system, since there are a lot of guns, then at the end of the day, it's all about fighting. It's all about this team fighting that team, something of such. And then at the end of the day, it really kills the economy. People always live in fear because they always understand that there are those guys with guns in their system, and anytime you mess with them, then they are always going to use their gun for self-defense. That's now the issue. There was a time in this country, in my country, whereby uh, police were killed, by those guys that we call the bandits. And away from the country, mainly within our borders, and they do, or all they use their guns is all about cattle rustling, stealing of cattle, killing enemies, such type of a thing. And therefore, anytime now we have such type of a system whereby now we can all access guns being disbanded, because at the end of the day, there will be no measures of law, to say that you used your gun wrongly and therefore you need a punishment. No, you are going to tell someone that, and then at the end of the day, tomorrow he appears in the court of law with his gun, and the next thing that he is going to do is to shoot the judge. That's now the drawback with these guns. Therefore, for me, I don't think having licensed guns to just normal citizens is a good thing. I think we really need our force agencies. If I was trained to be a police, and if I was trained to handle gun in this or in that manner, let me be there. Let me always be there. Let me handle the gun the way I was trained to do, and then everything it becomes more better, because I'm able to control now the civilians because they don't have guns. Another reasons why having gun is a risky argument is because it increases, it kind of disbards of what we call the existing regulations, because at the end of the day, if we give each and every person a gun, then even the laws that we have kept in terms of regulating the guns, how you should use your gun if you have been licensed with one, all those laws will be disbanded, you see, because at the end of the day, having a gun is like having that kind of authority, and then it's going to cause what we call the varying implementation, the strictness of enforcement and the effectiveness of this. Yeah, it's going to focus on illicit arms. This is where you'll be focusing on curbing the flow of illicit firearms within. But if we have them, then even trade is going to thrive. Illegal trade is going to thrive between us and maybe those nations that do not even have those guns. And therefore, I think for safety purposes and for our society to operate within the framework of the Constitution, I would always argue not to license guns to citizens. That would be my argument, Yeah, not to license what we call guns to the normal to the civilians or to the just normal citizens, because at the end of the day, if we license them, then as we have seen, a lot of problems are going to occur. But if we don't have guns, now everything shall keep on working the way it is working, I'm going to report somewhere, maybe to the police, when something happens to me, and then since they have the firearms, they have the guns, they have all these other things, then they can be able to take the law and its course. But it's very, very, it will be such a very good bad thing. Karen, hi, how are you doing today? How are you doing today, Karen? Thank you for joining. I'm also fine. I'm also doing good. I'm also doing fine. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm good. Stress tu za watoto sijari. Oh, pole sana for that, usijari. Zitaisha tu. So you are saying it's a good thing to license guns to us as the citizens? Wow, I know as a mother with young kids is always a very hard thing. I'm not a mother, but I really understand. Stress here and there. You have to take care of this guy. You have a daughter there. I know. It's very, very stressful. And then you cannot stay far away from them. Now that's another risk. Each and every time they need that motherly love. Yeah, ukivamiwa unatumia. Me, I'll go for no. I'll go for no, Karen, because imagine you having a gun and you are my wife, and then we are having our differences at night. Someone must die during that night. Yeah. But now imagine the way we don't have it. Yeah. If we fight, we take the case now to the police so that they can be able to solve. But now imagine you have one, I have one. The kids can be able to access that gun, because you are not going to hide it forever. I'll say let's stay the way we are. And then imagine you are having a gun and then you see your enemy. Women should be given it, especially the single mothers living with their children. Why should they be given a gun? Why should they be licensed with a gun? For self-protection. But you see, even if women are given the guns, or they are licensed with the gun, the possibility, the possibility of it being stolen by men will be very, very high. No. And you see now, once the gun now lands in men's heart, especially those men, so that bad men cannot take advantage of them. It's a good reasoning, but now imagine those bad men, like 5 of them. How many are you going to shoot before they have stolen that gun? They are going to steal it from you once they realize that Karen has been licensed with a gun, and then they kill you with it. And once they have killed you with it, now they use it for their own purpose or for their own advantages. That's now the quagmire which is here. Imagine now how many couples wanaweza uana because they have a gun in the house. Imagine how many business partners will be killed because of that thing. I just think nikiishi peke yangu I'll have one. Yeah, but you see now the problem with it has very, very strict regulations. For instance, tuseme even if it's your son mwenye amechukua just for fun or something of such, and then it does a mistake, then all the mistakes shall be upon you. And I'm telling you, there are some things that you cannot hide forever in your house, because when that attacks you at night, you are going to tell your son, wewe pada huko juu nitolee that gun so that we can shoot them. And then in that process, now he knows even how to cock the gun and how to shoot. And then you see now, when now you are doing some business, someone will just know that Karen has a gun. So we are going to stay with her very, very in a caution manner. And once now we can know how we can be able to trick her, we can get the gun, then we are going to use it for our own purpose. Yeah, even if it is in your locker, even if it is your safety locker or your safety drawer, he will still know. He will still know how to use it. He will still know how to use it. Na unajua sasa you'll be liable for everything. And sasa unajua kwa hiyo mansion sasa utakujiwa sasa hapo tuanze kukuona ukiwa pale ndani ya gazeti, Karen son or Karen, something of such very nasty headline about the misuse of the gun. So to me, I would say it's not a good thing, especially in our African context, because we are not disciplined. Hapa hakuna place ya kuficha. Now that's the thing. And then you see now we are not so disciplined in such a way that our society is very, very uncivilized. But you see, even if you are now famous, you'll also be traumatized. That's now the tragedy. You'll be traumatized that you got a chance to be licensed with a gun, but the way it is being used, it is being misused. Now that will be the thing. And now in our African context, we are not so disciplined that maybe you have been given some regulations. You should just use your gun in this and that situation, but not in that. But now, Karen, when you get furious, you might even shoot. Yeah, you might even shoot at a bird because maybe the bird is disturbing you at the top of your roof. So you just wake up and you just say, now these dogs of my neighbor that keep on barking here, I'm going to kill one by one. ati mtanichagia tu nisifugwe jela. Hatutaki kufika hapo, hatutaki kufika hapo. So the easiest thing, let us not stay with these things, you know. Imagine now all of us having guns. The loud youths or the loud guys will always be on the street terrorizing, you know, everyone, even if they have guns. And then now we are going to encourage that that illicit trade of those guns. We will now start selling to our brothers and sisters from the neighboring countries that they don't have those opportunities of owning them. So crime is automatically going to increase. That's the reason why maybe if you see an African guy or an African boy maybe messing up everywhere, you just tell him, you know, you are going to go to jail, or even the police can shoot you. When they hear that, they even change their behavior because they don't want to be shot. But now imagine that guy doing such kind of a crime, and then at the end of the day he has gun in his hands. I think the situation will be very, very different, you know. The situation will be very, very different, because that guy is always going to say, there is nothing they can do because I also have a gun. Now that's the thing. Because I also have a gun, there is nothing they are going to do. And you know, if you go to the prison and maybe even you don't even have a gun, because you always know how to use it, you can even coordinate with someone else inside there, so that you can know maybe how you are going to steal one as a way of escaping from the jail. But when you don't even have a crew, you know, when you don't even have a crew of how to cock it, it becomes very, very hard for you, you know, to get in there and even to think on how you can steal it, because you always see it as a weapon that can really kill you. Now that's the thing. Tutachaga tena ufugwe. Sasa hiyo maneno inakuwa ni gumu zaidi, hiyo maneno inakuwa ni gumu. I think the drawbacks are very, very high. You know, watu hupeana tips za kugrow YouTube, wako tu na 10 views. Hiyo umewaigirilia sana. You know they might be new YouTubers. They might be new YouTubers, and maybe they are giving new YouTubers tips on how to grow. But in the process, one thing that I have realized, Kalen, they are just in the process of trying. You know, the thing that we say in Kenya, that I'm just trying, you know. Yeah, you might get maybe someone just have like those 10 views, and then at the end of the day he just keep on doing those tips, you know, tips here and there, tips here and there, and finally maybe one of the video blows up, you know. Yeah, because of those tips. Watumie tips yao ya kugrow. Haven't you heard of those guys who always preach water but they take wine? But I think those ones are in the process of just trying. You know, when you say we are just trying, I think that's where they are. Because one thing that I have realized with most of us Africans, we really love to understand on how we can be able to either make money or even to grow what we are doing. That's the good thing. So when now they say, you know, I have these tips, I have those tips, I have this, you can do this, you can do, we really, yeah, we really love easy solutions. That's the thing. We really have easy solutions. So anytime now you see them trying to give those tips, they know now they are dealing in a market that really loves easy solutions. You know, they really know that like I always see those titles, you know, how to make your video go viral, yeah, how maybe to have watch time hours in one day or use in one video. I always see those tips. Those tips are there. And then others, they even put those, yeah, even others, they put those, do not do this, at your settings, as this is a setting that has always been delaying you. So do not do this when you are uploading your video, do this. And now you see in the process of watching that video up to the end, when you click it, you are just giving them some miles. Yeah, mostly me, I don't watch them. How to make, yeah, in 2 seconds. Exactly. Now you are there in 2 seconds. It's kind of trying to entice you, you know? It's like, what was it called? It's like that dog that saw someone carrying meat, and then, you know, the dog, it's called not the dog, but the hyena. At the end of the day, it's really saying, I wish, you know, I wish now the herd can just na video yenyewe ni refu. Of course, most of them are 10 minutes plus. Most of them are 10 minutes plus. You know, now the hyena is always waiting for the meat to fall. So the hyena, maybe you can even travel like 5 kilometers, just hoping that maybe the meat is going to fall. And once the meat has fallen, then now the hyena is going to have something to feast. So if now you fall into prey of those videos, then now you'll be their regular customers. But those titles are always there. It's called enticement. It's called marketing, you know. Because if they put like 10 minutes, now you'll not be interested to watch. But if they put 2 seconds, wow, wow, you'll be tempted to watch that video.
Nikuwe na siku nzuri.
Yeah, they said in African settings, gossip is selling at a very, very high rate. So when you start now doing gossip is always on high demand, because everyone just want to have that gossip. Nowadays, I heard it's called tea. You know, you really need to understand what tea is going on. But mostly, I also don't love most of them, especially the gossip one, because they are mainly either targeting someone, they are also tarnishing their names, you know, like the celebrity ones. You know, the celebrity ones, if you really want to go into the market, you can just use a certain celebrity and maybe you put some gossip about them, and then you are going to get some mileage. But at the end of the day, some are so bad to an extent that even if they are looking for views, they are also tarnishing their names. That's now the worst thing about them. Yeah, they don't have. It's just guesswork, it's just guesswork. And they always love it, especially when maybe there is, yeah, they are always caught chasing. That's the thing. Hmm? And you see, even when maybe that celebrity clears that information, they always persist in another information so that maybe celebrity can come back and maybe talk of another issue. So crowd chasing is such a very big market. Gossip and crowd chasing, I agree, is such a very, very big market. You know? Yeah, most of them, I agree. They always focus on crowd chasing. Unaweza pata unaongelewa vibaya hadi unashaka. Yeah. And they don't even care if you'll be demoralized. They don't care about anything. They are just there to sell so that maybe they can have some money, of which I don't believe is a good thing. It's a very, very bad thing. It's a very, very bad thing. Like there is a celebrity in my language she is a she, Kuna Rui family and the Mir. I have heard of them. I have heard of those. I don't watch them. Mostly I'm not fan of something that maybe it's family, something of such. But I always watch. I rarely watch them. But I have heard of them. What have they done? Give me the tea. Give me the tea, because I am not so conversant with them. I always hear people saying about them. Kuna siku walikuwa na grudge. Oh, they are brothers. But now they are putting grudges, or they are trying to create the crowd chasing thing on the social media. And it's a strategy of getting, thank you guys for joining. It's a strategy for getting more followers and more subscribers. Thank you guys for voting. And also, guys, you can contribute to our today's topic. Is it necessary for our government agencies, to give us licenses so that each and every, normal citizen can have a gun? That's our topic today. Is it necessary? Karen, what really happened? What ensued, in their fight? Who won? Who won between the two families? Which family won? Walikasirika juu the millions walinunuliwa furniture na the coms. Oh, so it was a strategy of having what is it called? Having crowd chasing as a way of getting something out of it. But other crowd chasing, they are not so good, So they got pissed off because this family was bought. I heard their father telling them in one of the videos, wakue pamoja. Yeah, but they can't because at the end of the day, they are making money. You see, you really want to understand who is more greater in the industry than the other. So the possibility of them coming together and maybe doing content together, I don't think it can effectively work. You know, because this family really want to say, you know, we have more subscribers than you. You know, we are making more than you. You know, we have a very greater fan base than you. Siku hizi wamerudi kuwa family tena. Oh, okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. But I think anytime they cause these unnecessary scandals, it's all about crowd chasing. Because they know now crowd chasing is really selling in the market. You know, like us, the Kenyan market, we really love the crowds chasers. We really love them. It's like I always used to hear about familia hawawezi wachana. Yeah, I agree. But they always be creating some scandals here and there so that maybe you can see. So maybe especially when they don't have views as a way of increasing their views. Like I heard of a certain family which keeps on breaking on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. And I really came to realize that it was all about increasing viewership. You know, when they increase their viewership, they get better money. You know, because everyone is just enticed to go and open and read what is really happening to the couple. Yes. Oh. So everyone in their family is content creator. Yeah. That's all about what happens when you start creating content. You know, when you see now the deal is getting better, you now start introducing everyone else who has who has a potential. And then from there now, when they get the final what the fan base, you know, you'll be making some scandals here and there, maybe this and that, they are not talking, you know, it was very bad, you know, they did this, in terms of trying to increase the viewership. That's a very that's the strategy that most of these guys uses. Or directors in the company, in companies or what? Or maybe music directors or something of such. Or maybe film directors. Wow, crowd chasing is a good thing. It has some advantages, it has some disadvantages, you know. But there are some guys who really want to trade from January to December through crowd chasing. They are just the same like those ones that you have said. Maybe they can use a certain story just to try and sell the idea to the public. And now, and those media houses, they have increased. They are very, very many. They are very, very many. They really want to get into people's lives, and then they do the analysis. You know this, you know that, you know this. I'm telling you. That's the reason why they always say that content creation to some extent is always fabricated. Not most of them are. Most of them are not true. Most of them are not true. Thank you guys for joining. Karen, where did Bad Boys go? Have you ever met him? I think he got lost somewhere. I think he really got lost somewhere. Shida ni kuolewa na mtu anategemewa na familia mzima. Yeah. That one is always a headache. Jirani alichange password. Hiyo inaweza kuwa ukweli. Yeah, it can be. It can be. Yeah. Hapa ukiolewa na mtu mwenye anategemewa na familia yao mzima inakuwa ni noma zaidi. Though the others that can always manage. There are those guys that can always manage. But now the problem, they don't give their families, first priority, because now you have like this kasarali, lazima kwenyu labda kuna watoto wenye wako nyuma yako, wewe ndio unawasomesha, wewe ndio unapea mamako chakula, wewe ndio una choili yaguka huko nyumbani, huna. Yeah, you cannot say anything. You cannot say anything because at the end of the day, your salary sasa unaigawanisha kila mahali, so anajuaga kwake, kama kwake ni maybe for instance tuseme salary ni 80k, ako na ndugu mwenye ako uni, huyo anachukuaga bao, then ako na mother huko ushago na hao watoto wengine wadogo wenye wanasoma maybe wanachukua 10. Maybe kwake ako na tutoto tuwili tuko shule bao. Already 50k is gone. Sasa kwake sasa, and then unajua ako na fare, ako na transport, ako na mahitaji hapa na pale, house rent, everything. Sasa anawekaga in a certain fixed budget. Ndoa ikae tu. Sasa kwa nini ikae? It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. You should not say that it's a bad one. It's a good thing. No. Unaweza mvumilia as long as unaona ako na some strategies of expanding that salary. That's the thing. As long as umeona maybe, unajua even if anategemewa huko nje na familia yao, maybe you as a wife, you can come up with a strategy of how now you are going to fatten his salary, Yeah, in actually in maybe reality unajua the maximum savings anaweza fanya ni 10k. Ati sina uvumilivu. Kuvumilia nao lazima. That one is given. That one should be paramount. That one should be paramount. That one should be paramount. Niambie. Watu kama hao sisters wake wanakuwa not all. Unajua ina depend on how he is treating them, you know, because they are toxic, especially sasa kama yeye amewaonyesha, now they should even disrespect the wife. Now that's where now the things comes in, you know, the essence of disrespect. But he might be doing everything kwake kwao, you know, just trying to survive with that small salary, but at the end of the day anakuwa sasa wewe anakupatia the first priority in terms of respect and everything else, so inakuwa ni easier for you now to survive. Inakuwa ni easier for you to survive. I think in terms of toxicity, it all comes in, especially when now he hasn't clearly defined the boundaries, you know. You know, there are those guys, maybe they have families, but at the end of the day, maybe they don't define boundaries on how maybe sisters or even mother-in-law should treat your wife or your, yeah, you see now that thing. Now there it is a problem. But now if he has clear definition, you know, you're my sister, you are depending on me, you know, but even if I'm doing everything for you, you should maybe respect my family and blah 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 blah. Kwanza bibi mwenye hana pesa. Okay, I always agree if maybe the lady does not have some money, she always face some backlash in the family, not even in the bigger family, but even in her home, in her own home, you know, they are always going to conflict with the husband, because now you'll be told, you know, we need this, we need that, we need this, and maybe the husband does not have such type of a budget. But me, I always kama una you cannot advise the ladies on that. We cannot standardize on that. That's what I mean, because me, I always believe in the concept of maybe you can grow together, because what if you'll never even get that that amount that you really feel that it can be enough for you to be respected in your marriage? What will happen? It will be always be a very tricky thing. I think it's all about seeing the potentiality, you know. Yeah, that should be the standard thing. You see the potentiality. Can it work after here, maybe 10 years or 20 years to come? That should be the thing. That should be the standard. Because not each and every lady is going to afford to have a job before they get married. That one is not there, you know, and not every husband that will have a job before he get married. So at the end of the day, it's all about potential. Wewe ndio tu nafikiria hivyo, wengine wanakutupa nje kila siku uteseke huko. Now sasa wewe wanafanya hivyo, I think now they fail. They are failing because at the end of the day, me, I always look at the potentiality, you know, and I always love working in the future. Because now when you look at the history, the history is always very, very bad to most of the people. Some of them even started from nothing, but they really maybe sat down and saw, if we can do ABCD, maybe 10 years to come, then we'll be in a better position than the way we are today. So for that, for those guys, maybe that they do that, but I agree it's a thing that is happening, because I saw a clip. I also believe that you saw that clip of a wife that didn't have anything, and she had 3 kids. Yeah, you see like those guys. Yeah, maybe they started from there, but today they're in a better position. Today they're in a better position. So it's all about seeing the future and not leaning on the present, or maybe looking at what happened in the past. But the one that you have said that watu wanatupwa nje, yeah, I saw of already. She's trading now. I don't know really what ensued between her and the husband, and the lady didn't even have nothing. Yes? Okay. Yeah, didn't even have anything. So now the husband resorted in ensuring that the lady, she was out of her life. Yeah, that's now the thing that I'm telling you about. Now you look into the future. Even me, I'll never wish someone, to downgrade you because you don't have anything today. No one knows the future, you know. That's the thing. Yeah, it's a good one, because at the end of the day, you see, they really started from somewhere, and you see the way they have been donated, even that bed. That's the same way, life is all about a cycle. That's the same way they are also going to do such a thing when they get stable to other people. Yeah, because they always remember that at one point in our lives, everything was donated. So there will be no harm even for us to donate. Yeah, that one is always there. That one is always there. It's like those kids, maybe they were taken school by maybe just afraid, maybe just afraid because maybe they didn't have parents, or maybe the parents didn't have the capability. And then at the end of the day, most of them, when they grow, you see, they always now adapt to the same thing, doing a lot of charity here and there. But for those maybe didn't go through that, it's very hard for them to appreciate what others have really experienced in life. So it's always good to appreciate others when they don't have, and always a very good thing to also look into the future rather than leaning on the present. Wow, and now I'm calling off this live, guys. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Good guys, now I come to the end of this live. Thank you so much guys for always tuning in and for always voting. Today it was a good one. It was all about licensing of guns, you see. And some people have said there is need for the government to license guns so that we can use it for our personal needs. And others have really disputed the need for uh, for the licensing of guns based on the social implications that that thing would have. So thank you guys for always tuning in. Thank you so much. Let's meet tomorrow, same place, same time, guys. Have a good night, have a good day. And if you come across this video, if you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe. And always we have a live each and every day. Thank you so much guys. Let's meet tomorrow, same place, same time. Bye.